Hi there, Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches here. Welcome to my channel where together we sew. If you're brand new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and ring the bell for notifications so you'll know when I post up videos like this one or when I go live. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I love seeing all of you here and your comments down below. So today is Fort Worth Fabric Studios Frozen Memory Sew Along Week 3. As you can see, I have the previous blocks hanging on the wall behind me, or at least a couple from each week. We've got the spinner blocks and the poinsettia star block from week 1 and 2. And the PDF is now available for week 3. That will be linked in the description box below as always, so it'll take you right there and you'll just have to scroll about halfway down the page where it says week 1, week 2, week 3, find week 3 and download that PDF and then come sew along with me. Okay, so here I printed out my Frozen Memories week 3 PDF. As always, you can go to the description box below my video to get a direct link to print this out if you haven't gotten it yet. This week we're making the Frosty Flake block. Makes me a little hungry. And this is what it's going to look like. So the pieces that are in our block are all laid out right here. This looks like it's going to be the center, and then we've got some larger and smaller squares. The smaller squares of the background fabric and the smaller squares of the silver fabric. I'm going to put those aside with the center for now because we don't need those yet. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my larger squares of fabric C, fabric A, and then I believe the other one is fabric I. And we're going to make, I apologize, fabric A, fabric B, and fabric C. So we're going to make a whole bunch of half square triangles. So the color combination with the background fabric and this blue, we are going to make 16 of those. No, sorry, I am doing this all wrong. Yes, 16 of those, that is correct. And this color combination, the B and C, we're going to make 8 of those. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is draw a line corner to corner on the back of these fabrics. And since this dark blue color is in all of the half square triangles, I'm going to draw the line on the back of the dark blue. So I've already done it on that one, and then I'll do it on the back of this one. And just like all the other half square triangles that we made together, we're going to lay these right sides together, and then we're going to sew 1/4 inch on either side of the line that we've drawn. So make sure your fabric, if you've gotten the kit from Fort Worth, remember there one side is shiny, one side is flat. Put the shiny side with the pretty side of the blue. And then we're going to sew these 1/4 inch on either side. Now you may want to chain piece these to make them go faster because there are quite a few. I'm just going to show you one of each. But we are only making one block this week, just this one block. Okay, so there I have my 2 different combinations together. The background in the dark blue and the light snowflake in the dark blue. Now, let me grab my scissors. You can rotary cut these if you want to, or you can scissor cut them. I'm just going to scissor cut them right on that line that we drew. And then after that, we're going to press these and trim them down. You're going to trim these down to 4.5 inches square. And this is my favorite method of making half square triangles, because having a little extra and being able to trim them down means you get nice, correct size blocks. I was going to say perfect, but I don't ever believe there's a perfect block. Okay. This is just a starch alternative that I like to use to get my seams nice and flat. I know a few of you ask me when I post videos, so I thought I'd mention that. It's kind of like a best press type thing. But concentrated to help you get your seams nice and flat. So I'm going to press these, and then once these are pressed, we can trim these down. Now you can use whatever ruler is your favorite for that. I know a lot of people like the block lock rulers or the clearly perfect slotted trimmers. I like those too, but I feel like my favorite way is just to take a regular old quilting ruler that has a 45-degree line on it and trimming it that way. That way, if you don't have a specialty ruler, you know you don't need one. Okay, do one more to iron. The flatter I can get those seams, the better these blocks are going to turn out. Okay, set that aside. Grab my rotary cutter and my ruler. I've got a small 5-inch square here, so we're going to trim these down to 4.5. So I always find the dark 45-degree line on my ruler, and I put that right on the line that I've sewn. I trim one side, or I should say 2 sides, to get nice straight edges, and then I turn it around and I find the 4.5-inch marking on my ruler, making sure that line is again on my sewn line, and then trim those away. So there, I've got one, and we're going to do the same thing for all of these. Go. 2 more. And of course you all will have more than that. I'm just showing you one of each color, and you'll get 2 half square triangles out of each pair of squares. So far with this project, lots of half square triangles and lots of flying geese, which are great building blocks for a lot of quilting blocks. So good things to work on. Okay. And there's that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is for one, hold on, grab these. I've got my other ones over here. For one set of these, we're going to make our corner units, and we're going to do that with the white-blue combination. And it's going to go like that. And then these other pieces we're going to turn into the pieces that attach to our center. So let me orient these the right way. Just like that. And they should look like, if you've got them going the right way, they should look like a chevron. So just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one together first. You'll have 4 of these units. And you'll have 4 of the corner units. This is not a hard block, it's just a lot of steps. Lots of half square triangles, so trimming. But once you get all those made, it'll go together really quickly. So there are those pieces. Now I'm going to sew those 2 together after I give them a press. And I'm pressing them opposite directions so that way they'll nest together really nicely and lay flat. Okay, those are pressed. So now I'm going to sew them together. So I'm going to flip this one on top and sew right along this edge. Okay, so then you should have a chevron that looks something like this. Got to give it a press yet. And I'm going to press that down. It just seems to lay better that way. Okay, so don't forget to make 4 of those. I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And now I'm going to make one of the corner pieces. So when you're making these, make sure that your blues are touching, and then you have a white background square in one corner and a silver in the other. Now, if you're like me and directional fabrics, if they're not all going the same direction, make you a little OCD crazy. The silver is directional, so just keep an eye out for that, because I know that that bothers me. I need them to all go the same direction once they're in the block, so I kept an eye on for that. All right, sew this one together, and then we're going to press them and then put the blocks in the rows together into the corner unit. All right, bring my iron over. That one I press. And I'm pressing towards the squares instead of the triangles. So they'll be in opposite directions again for nesting. So I'm just going to flip that one on top of there and sew those together. Okay. And this one I'm just going to press it. It doesn't matter which way you press it, I don't think, so I'm just pressing it, you know, one way down. This one is going to be on the bottom, so it'll be down, but it doesn't really matter which way you press this one. Okay. So there we have that. So you need to make 4 of those as well. So 4 of those corners and 4 of the chevrons. And then we're going to grab all of those and grab our center. And that's it. That's all there is to this block. So let's get all those pieces and get this block together. It's a lot to get to this point with all the half square triangles, but once you get all the half square triangles done, it's going to go together fairly quickly. So hopefully I will have space to lay all this out where you guys can see it. It's going to be a fairly large block. Ooh, what a pretty block. It's a nice big star. Or frosty flake block, I should say. Cute name. Okay, so this is how our frosty flake block is going to come together. So I'm going to do one row at a time. I'm going to start with the bottom row so it doesn't fall off while I'm sewing the rest. There's my bottom row. I'm going to grab my center row and sew that big center block, the poinsettias, to the chevrons. Make sure all your chevrons are pointed, the blue arrow, the dark blue arrow is pointed in towards the center. Oop. Needle came unthreaded. Hang on just a second. All right, back in business. Making sure my sharpens are all going the same way. That one's pointing in. Okay, there's my center row. And now I'm going to sew together my top row. Again, making sure that chevron is going to be pointing towards the center. And I realized that I did not press this block yet, so I'm going to go ahead and press that before I add it to this row. Okay. Alright, so there is my top row. Now all I have to do is join these together. I need to press them first and then join them together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think it looks like the fabric in the center row is wanting to go in towards the center, and these ones are sort of going out. So we're just going to let the fabric tell us which direction to press it. Just as long as your top and your bottom row are opposite of your center, they'll still nest really nicely. Okay, just that one. I'm loving these fabrics. So pretty. I am very excited to see what this quilt is going to look like. I bet you guys are too. Okay, all pressed. Hit my iron aside, and we're going to start sewing these rows together. So that's the top row. I'm going to grab my center. I'm glad that we got to cut these cardinals a little bit bigger this time so we could see some of these cardinals. They're so pretty. Okay. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so now I just have to add the bottom row and we'll be done. So not a hard block, just a lot of steps because you have to do so many half square triangles, but once you get your half square triangles done, as you can see, it goes together fairly quickly. There it is. There's the whole block. Very beautiful. Okay, well that was a fun block to sew. It's beautiful. That was our Frosty Flake block for week number 3. I love that name. So I hope you come back and join me next week for week 4. We've only got a couple more weeks left and then we'll be all done. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like. I did mention this earlier, but since it's the first Monday of the year, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had a great holiday season and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.